Good afternoon, everybody. 4 p.m. time. 4 p.m. time, and we need lights. We've got the camera, we've got the action. We just need the lights. There we have. Right. Not long been in. If you saw my welcome message, them clouds are looking a little bit ominous. Not quite started raining yet, or has it? Hang on. Yes, it has now. The rain doesn't look as bad as the clouds would think. But I'm indoors now, so I'm not really bothered what it gets up to out there. Right, afternoon, Chris. You're the first one in. I've got something on my chin. Oh, I don't know. First time I looked in the mirror this afternoon. I've been to do a class and teach a class, and now I am home. My legs are aching. Me everything's aching actually from a class that I did yesterday. Yeah, bit achy, bit uncomfortable. The ache is, but it's a nice uncomfy. I think it's not one of those severe uncomfies where you have to sit down on the top of the staircase and bump yourself down because your legs are protesting. So it's not as bad as it could be. The delayed onset of muscle soreness. Sway and stretch though, so we don't ask for a whole lot of energy from the sway and stretch, which is good because towards the tail end of the day that could be depleting somewhat. It's a good wind down, and could be repeated a bit before bed if you so prefer. Afternoon, Gillian with the G. It's 59 past. I've got 35% battery, so we should just be all right for this 4 p.m. movement snack, and you'll be getting around 13, 14, 15 minutes of extra movement minutes. Some of that swayy, flowy, weight transferring, step actioning, coordination-y type stuff, and a stretch for enhanced flexibility. Better movement at joints can become more apparent the looser the muscles are that are surrounding those joints. And oh look, it's 4 o'clock. We ought to do the 3, 2, 1. Afternoon, Vivian, and welcome to you, Paul, as well. So here we are, 3, 2, 1. Afternoon and welcome. It's my first movement snack of the day, so I've not really had to think what date it is. Maybe it's the 9th today of October 2024. Maddie's just getting in there as well. Afternoon to you. Right, sway and stretch then. Circ boost for a starter maybe. Oh, my legs. Right, stand tall or sit tall. Where would you like to be? Where would you prefer to start? You can start standing or seated. You can come into or come out of seated, depending on what we're doing. So stand tall, lift tall, feel the rib cage just create more space between the ribs and those hips. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. We can start pedaling the legs when we feel like our feet are organised, i.e. around hip distance apart here. External support can support your balance and your confidence, and you can use that as much or as little, as often or as not as you need. If you're in seated, if you haven't done already, and if you aren't at the front third of your chair, take a walk to it. There's the lift. A bit of a cobweb down there. Might need to do something about that later. There's the foot pedals into leg marches when everybody is ready to do so. Adding in arm swings, you know what comes next. Get yourself into a rhythm and a flow. a pace, a level that's fairly easy, comfortable, not testing or taxing on our muscles, joints, or breathing and heart rate. But there will be some small changes, small, definite, significant changes occurring through all of those systems. Now, use the one arm if you'd prefer to keep a bit of access to your external support, and then swap sides when you're ready. Trying your bestest to keep your elbows bent. This shortens the lever, it makes it easier to swing, and it makes the swing more pronounced from the shoulders. An area that could do with a bit of warming up and loosening up, because this is where we can hold a bit of tension at times as well. Should feel those changes now. A little lift of heart rate, you might not feel that, but it's there. An increase of your breathing, your rib cage expanding, your chest lifting just that little bit more than your normal level of breathing. Right, are we ready for our sway routine? So if you remember, we started palms up, we took a twist, a dip, a turn, and then a reach forwards, and that elbow that's not reaching is drawing backwards, and then to the other side, turn it around, reach it forwards. Bit of trunk twist in there as well, that little turny position of the arm, staying, keeping the shoulder low, and the arm just coming out and away, the elbow just coming out and away from your side. Okay, that's where we started. Now if you want to put a bit of a step in to this, you can, and we're going to do just a couple more of this type of movement. So just join me in this if you would like, just to get that flow going from right side to left side, a twist and a turn, the shoulders turning away, but the head staying forwards. If you would like, it's the opposite side, takes a step back. And then we pause here for a moment as the arms do an additional swing before stepping back. So if you just want to rehearse that small step back, share the weight into the knees, step in there, stepping back to hip distance. So just taking a turn, a step on a slight diagonal towards the back corners behind you. All right, let's take it from the top. If you would like a step in seated, it's just as easy to do. Just landing the heel down, just a small step so you can still work through your feet. So turning round and step, reach there, one more, and back to base. Turning around, step and reach, a little bit of turn with the shoulders, the trunk. You can reset here for a bit of a moment if you would like, just before taking it on to the other side. So if the left arm's coming forwards, the right leg is just stepping backwards, and of course vice versa. And there we go. That'll do nicely for our sway routine today, I think. Okay, moving into our run of stretches. Shall we start in seated, if you'd prefer? All of these can be done in standing. You choose. I'm going to come into seated though, and just make sure that if you have just sat down, you just take a bit of a hip walk forwards And we'll go for the upper side stretch first. That's why I'm organising my shoulder, jumper shoulder area. Hand to the shoulder so it doesn't get too tight around your clothing. Lift the elbow, just as if you're using your arm as a bit of a pillow. Keeping the chin, the neck, the head in a lengthened position there, just so that you're not kind of crooking your neck, dropping the chin to the chest or anything like that. Just hold it there and just sit tall so you feel a bit of lift through your sides as well. Opening up the armpit, accessing round the back of your head, neck and shoulder area, and then into a full reach for higher levels, ledges, shelves, heights, things like that. Take a pause there, and there's the full upward side stretch for you. Onto the other side then. So if you find yourself back in a bit of a slump, sit tall first, then take the elbow up, feeling the stretch in the back of the arm. That's a bit of a pull-in sensation that you feel there, mildly uncomfortable. Head comfortable position, and a hold with a bit of breathing to accompany it, of course. Getting ready for a full reach. The arm can go up, the other hand comes down to the seat. Maybe if you don't need to hold your seat, you want to reach a slight diagonal away from that. Now, staying where you are then, taking and drawing your hands round to the side of your hips. You might choose to hold your hands together behind you. Keep them quite low though, so that you don't end up here with the shoulders hunched. Or just reach back. It's a little bit narrow here, but a little bit wide here on the chair that I'm on. But if you're on something like a dining chair, that gives you quite a good position to track your hands back into for the chest stretch. So a few different options on hand and arm positioning behind you, but every single one equaling a stretch, a bit of a pull in the front shoulder into the chest area, lifting, lengthening, opening, trying not to jut, feel the chest high, and your posture's in a great place there. Relax, ease off, and enjoy just a bit of switch off there too. Right, preparing then for the back of thigh stretch. If you struggle to get your knee out fully straight, as straight as you know that you can get your knee, then you might be a tad too far back. So a small adjustment of coming forwards can hopefully get a bit more knee straightening there. Onto the bent leg, flat foot there, chest high here, long spine and big space between ribs and hips, just as we prepare to lean forwards, hinge forwards. Still trying to keep that upright posture that you had sitting upright, still upright, even though we've bent from the hips. Bit of a pull there, isn't there, at the back of the knee. Try and keep the knee as straight as you can. And then you'll feel it a bit further up and maybe around your hip area too. Some of you, if you've got some tightness, stiffness in the trunk, in the back, you might feel it in your back. If it's too intense, ease off. If it's okay, stay where you are, or even go a bit deeper. You choose, you make the decisions around my offerings. Ease in a bit more if you can. If you're at your maximum pull, then don't go any further. Just stay there, hold it around that point and breathe. If you can go a bit further though, go in a bit deeper and recover. There we go, swap sides. Okay, so we've got a long leg, other side. We've got a lifted posture, a long spine. Straight in the leg, straight in the spine, and just hinging forwards. Often the shoulders can start creeping up here. Notice where they are. Get rid of them if they're anywhere near your ears. Slide them down, put them in their place, and we're into a unhunched stretch in the back of your leg. Breathe into it. If you're on your maximum tension that you can take in this stretch position, then don't go any further, just stay where you are and breathe. If not, go a bit further. Okay, and recover. If you're staying where you are, pull the toes back and you'll be straight into feeling this stretch in your calf. If you prefer the standing version, prepare to stand. Might need a little bit of foot pedaling as you rise from the chair. Approaching the area where you want to do this, I'm putting my toe up to the skirting board, striding back. I've got a bit of external support to the side and in front, wherever and whichever, doesn't really matter. It's a light, easy reach space away from you, and we've got that back leg where the stretch is coming out from. One a bit deeper, bend the knee further at the front. All right, let's get the other side done. At 20-second hold. Have a little tweak around with your position, where you are, where your posture is, shoulders especially. Front knee bending a little bit further to get a deeper stretch on the calf at the back. All right, ease out, reset. And there we have your 4 p.m. Done and dusted. Oh, sit up and stand up. Ouch. Right, thanks everybody. Messages haven't quite landed yet. Still, normally they're in. Thanks Vivian, Gillian, Paul, Gillian with a J as well, Bridget and Tina. Thanks for your company. Ta-ra for now. Enjoy your evening.